Hi, I'm Jennifer Battaglino, and I'm back to talk to you about our tinnitus quick tip number 2. Previously, on our tip number 1, I talked about sound-rich environment and what that means for someone with tinnitus and how that helps them to get well. Today, what I'm going to talk about is the urge for a person with tinnitus to isolate themselves. When you first get tinnitus, as you well know, if you're a person listening to this, watching this now with tinnitus yourself, what happens is you have that urge to isolate, to protect yourself. You don't want to go near that loud noises. You don't want to expose yourself to anything that could make your tinnitus worse. What happens is, there's a double-edged sword here. What happens is, you're less likely to habituate, but you're in that flight or fight mode. You're still in that mode where you need to protect yourself. So a person who hears that sound, that hissing, that ringing, that I've heard so many different descriptions in the past of what it sounds like to experience tinnitus. Whatever it is that you are hearing, or that someone that you love or care about is hearing, what happens is they don't want it to get any worse, and understandably so. So what happens is, you might invite them out, and it's, oh, you know what, that restaurant's too loud for me, or I don't want to go to the movies, the soundtrack is too loud. Well, if it's 85 decibels or higher, and 85 decibels is about a lawnmower, which is a good rule of thumb. If it's there or higher, you do want to wear earplugs. You do want to protect your ears because you don't want to do any actual damage to the inner ear. But if it's below 85 decibels, all you're doing is exacerbating. It may make the tinnitus a little bit louder afterwards, and you may not enjoy what happens for going out, but it really helps with the habituation process, because it sounds crazy, but each and every time you come home or come back and you've survived, you're still alive, something goes in the brain, something clicks and says, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to live through this. I'm going to get through this. So even though the urge is to isolate, fight that urge as much as possible. And that's one of the best tips I can give you, is that the more you isolate yourself, the more tinnitus is taking your life away from you. And the more that happens, just think about it. It's a big old snowball rolling down that hill, gaining momentum. You get more depressed, anxious, worried, all of those things because you don't have your life back. So think about it as, I hate to say it and sound corny about it, but going into battle. You need to battle your tinnitus. You need to show it each and every day that it's not going to get the best of you. And each and every time you go to that cafe, you know what? Maybe the restaurant's too loud right now, but maybe you meet your friend for dessert. Maybe you meet for a drink at the bar, whatever it is. So it's 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. But get yourself out there and make yourself get your life back, because the more you build up that momentum, the more it will actually happen, and you can get your life back. If you want to learn any more about tinnitus, feel free to go to my website at the Harwood Group, ny.com, and Harwood is spelled Harwood, the Harwood Group, ny.com, because we are located in New York, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have via email or by phone. Thank you, and here's to bringing down the volume.